722 here at Big 550 KTRS. We love to get innovators on here, and especially with St. Louis being one of the great innovative places in the country and being tech savvy. We welcome to the Big 550 KTRS, Janelle Patterson. You are the creator of Frenity, correct?
Yes, thank you, McGraw.
Which is a social media app.
It is.
And it launched back in April.
April 2nd,
okay.
nationally. Mm-hmm.
Why does the world need another social media app?
Great question. Frenity is a fairly new concept in social media. I like to think of it as group networking. That's the premise. And what Frenity is in a nutshell is it's the first group networking application, private group networking application that's suitable for users of all ages. So that's a mouthful. What does that mean, right? It means that it's an application that's targeted at adults to help us manage our life in groups, but it's also suitable for children of all ages. We are compliant with a law called COPPA, which stands for the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. It was a law enacted in 1998 that protects the privacy of kids under 13. But essentially, Frenity is a web application that you can get on and set up groups in your life. Groups naturally like family, friends, neighbors, school classrooms, sports teams, dance studios, gymnastics gyms, you name it.
Now, doesn't Facebook have, doesn't my school have a Facebook page and my team have a Facebook page and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a big difference between what we do and what your mainstream social media like Facebook does. So I look at your mainstream social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as sort of a friend sphere. And anything that you put on there, you have to expect that it's more or less potentially could be on the 5 o'clock news, right?
Right.
You're putting it out there.
And it often is.
Absolutely. What we're trying to do is rein that in a little bit and promote privacy. And when you set up a group on Frenity, there's some really key differences to setting up a group on Frenity versus setting up a group on Facebook, as an example. Some of those being, when you set up a group on Facebook, you can you can include anybody you want, and the person who's included doesn't necessarily have a choice.
We were talking about that during the break.
Right.
It's so annoying when on Facebook you're invited to in these groups that you do not ask to be
I know.
invited to.
All
And
right,
then you
I'm
have
never
to be
going
the
to
bad
invite
guy.
you on my woodworking show anymore. So there. So fine, you're off that group.
Yeah,
But no, the point is though, on Facebook, you get included on groups that you don't really want to be included on.
Right, absolutely. So you get included. So on Frenity, what we do is when you create a group, you choose who to invite. And if you invite me to a group, McGraw, and I don't want to be in that group, I don't accept the invitation. So, and if Kelly finds out that we have a group and wants to be in it, she can't ask to join the group. You have to invite every participant in the group to be part of it, if that makes sense.
Okay. And you got this idea because of your own children.
Right. So let me tell you how this all started. About 5 years ago, I was going through a divorce, and my kids were 11 and 7. And I had a couple of dynamics going on. My 11-year-old had an iPhone because she was a competitive gymnast spending a lot of time in the gym, and we needed a way for her to get in touch with us if she needed to be picked up last minute. So most kids, when they get a mobile device in their hands, are going to ask if they can have a social media account. Naturally, we said absolutely not. There's nothing good that can come of a social media account for an 11-year-old. But fast forward a little bit, Instagram got downloaded, and she came to me because she had attracted a follower that scared her. And what I found was that the privacy settings were not enabled, but the geographical location settings on the phone were enabled. So essentially, anybody could have found her out there. In addition to that, the other dynamic that was going on was my younger daughter, who was 7. She was struggling a little bit, kind of going back and forth between households, and said, gosh, I sure wish there was a way that I could log into your computer or Dad's computer and just have a little chat conversation with you, or upload a photo and stay in touch in a different way than just those nightly phone calls. And that's where the idea kind of came from. Because as a parent, I started doing a lot of research on cyberbullying and cyber predators and just the dangers online for kids. And I thought there has got to be a way to make an application that really is targeted at adults. It's not a juvenile application at all, but that it gives parents a way to sort of get back in the driver's seat and choose to introduce kids to social media on their terms when they think those kids are ready.
So your family would have a group, and then your
Correct.
gymnastics team would have a group, and then your baseball team would have a group.
Right. So
if practice ends at 3 o'clock, or practice is canceled, or school's canceled, or whatever else, you can check this page, if you will, or your app, and it'll send you the notices.
Absolutely. So you nailed it. And that's part of the beauty behind it, too. We have a lot of sports teams that love it because if you set up a group as a soccer team, as an example, and you're a coach, you set up a group, you include the parents, you include the kids, and all of a sudden you have to cancel practice because of rain or whatever. You go out there, you cancel practice, everyone automatically gets an email notification to see that practice is canceled. So not just the kids, but the parents. And then you don't have to worry about a coach reaching out to kids on their cell phone, texting them,
Right.
or sending out a tweet when maybe parents don't want the kids on Twitter.
This just launched in April. How's it going so far?
Very well. We've gotten a lot of traction. We put out our initial national press release, got a lot of attention from that. But yeah, it's going really well. We're getting a lot of traction with schools, sports teams, any kind of group you can imagine that we never even envisioned could even be interested in the application.
Is it mobile? Is it an app on your phone?
Yes. Yeah. So here's how it works. Today, it's a web application. So if you go onto your phone through Safari and find it, it's going to say, "Oh, gee, we noticed you have a cell phone, and so tap here to pin it to your home screen." You pin it to your home screen. You use it just like an app. It's very mobile friendly. We have the native apps in development right now that will be in the stores by the end of July.
Gotcha. All right, and this was all you found it, started it, and raised
Correct.
money all right here in St. Louis.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
How about that? Pretty exciting. All right,
Yeah.
good. All right, website. What's the
www.frenedy.com, and Frenedy is spelled Frienedy. Frenedy.com.
Is it free?
It is absolutely free, and there are no ads.
How about that?
Likey.
There you go. Janelle Patterson, the creator of Frenedy, a new media site here in town, which sounds really interesting.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you both very much.
When you go public and you make $1 billion, are you going to forget where you started?
You have to come back
Absolutely
here.
not. I'll never forget McGraw and Kelly.
Yes, you will.
Thank
You'd be
you
like,
so
I'm
much.
sorry, who?
I know.
No, I'm a huge fan.
All right. Thank you, Janelle.
Thank you.
7:30 here, Big 550.